What's up, YouTube? I'm going to talk to you today about my next job after Target. Now, I'm a little bit more unsure because I think I went like almost a year and a half, 2 years between Target and my next job just because I was getting my GED and I was kind of hanging out more. Um, so I'm probably skipping one. I don't think I am, but I know before because I took a year off between high school and when I actually went to college or attended college. I didn't finish. But anyway, I worked at Kroger um, before I went to Montana State when I was 19. Anyway, Kroger was kind of interesting because I think the main reason why I got that job is because I forget if she was my girlfriend when I applied or if she was my ex by that point. But either way, my girlfriend or ex, I forget. She told me she worked at Kroger. She was like, "Oh, they're hiring. You should apply." And so I applied to the store that I assumed she was at, or thought she was at, and she wasn't at that store. Well, I found out later on she wasn't at that store. I remember after my interview with the supervisor, I had asked him if she worked there, and he was all like, "Oh, y'all ain't stalking each other, nothing like that." I was like, "Oh no." Um, but anyway, so it's to start off kind of, different. I applied to the wrong store. I don't know that I was actually interested in working at Kroger like that to begin with. But overall, like it was pretty decent. What you would kind of expect, because going in, I'm thinking it's gonna be kind of like Target, even though I was like a bagger helper or something like that. And it was just, it's pretty straightforward. You put the stuff in the bags. Oh, this is where I learned that you don't put food in the same bag with chemicals or cleaning supplies or like non-food stuff, basically. One or two customers even was like, yeah, they actually told me, yeah, I don't think that goes in that bag. So like I had to like learn that, I was like, oh, well, no big deal. It's not like it's going to spill, but it's like, oh, and then you'll put the fish in with the meat, beef, stuff like that. So it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, I've worked in retail, but I wasn't, bagging stuff. If anything, like I was doing cashier stuff. But I think it was probably the first job where like I kind of look forward coming to or going to, because at that time I still stuttered a whole lot. So I didn't really like to talk to people. And so when I would bag groceries, sometimes there would be this other, kid or just people in general would come over and help you. Like sometimes there'd be 2 baggers per lane or what have you. But there's this one guy, he stuttered probably worse than I did. And I stuttered, like at that time, I didn't stutter as bad as I did in middle school and high school, but I still, it was still kind of consistent, But this guy, man, he stuttered. He stuttered like how I did, but when I was in middle school, he stuttered really bad. But something about it was, even though he stuttered, dude was funny as hell, man. Like, I remember me and him would be in line bagging groceries, and like the customer, like, how close baggers stand to like the customer waiting to pay for their stuff. So it was only like, what, 5-10 feet at the most. And me and him would just be cracking up saying, weird shit, like he told me how, and anyone who stutters, or used to stutter a lot, you've probably gotten this before where, and it's not really stuttering, it's hesitating where, like, let's say someone asks you, what's your name? And obviously, your name, but like when you try to go to say it, there's just like, oh, my name is Xavier. But that like 5 or 6 second pause, it feels like 5 or 6 minutes. And the person, that's asking you is just sitting there like, okay. But anyway, I'm sure people who have stuttered has gotten the well, you forgot your name, in the times that, you've done that hesitating thing, so he was telling me that story about how that happened to him. And he was like, I guess the person was like, oh, you forgot your name or something. And he told me, he was like, yeah, can I borrow yours? So we would just say, we would just say goofy shit like that, and be laughing my fucking ass off. But but yeah, so like I said, bagging, and at that particular Kroger, I don't know if all Krogers do this, and I know like there's a bigger company name or parent company that Kroger is under, and Kroger has different names in different parts of the country. I think Smith's or Albertsons is like one of the is part of the same company that Kroger, parent company that Kroger is under. But Smith and Albertsons is out west, I think, where Kroger is more like a southeast kind of grocery store. So anyway, I'm not sure that's the same in all Kroger related stores or affiliated stores, but after we would bag groceries, we'd have to go and just stock stuff, keep them straight in order and all that stuff and orderly. And you always have customers asking you for stuff, and like customers don't realize like who works where and who's just putting stuff back because you decided to take it back or you were told to take it back. But it happens a lot. Customers would come up to you asking you questions about the specific aisle you're working in, and I'm sitting there like I don't, like, I have no idea, like, and that's when you want people that actually work in that department to be there, because otherwise you're telling the customer, oh, hold on, or follow me, and I'll get you somebody, and you're just kind of guiding the customer around the store because you can't find them one, because they all, everyone in that department seems to either all went to the bathroom, or they're all on lunch, or they're all in different departments themselves. It's just it becomes a mess after a while. But like, it was pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. Actually, I take that back. Like, it was 50-50. The different people there were cool to, talk to and laugh with. Like I was saying before with one guy that stuttered. But the pay was just trash. I mean, in Georgia, they were paying us $7.25 is minimum wage, or at least when I was there. And so, like, I was only working like 2 or 3 days a week, and they paid weekly. So, after tax, I'm making like, I don't know, 18 or $19. So it wasn't that much, but so, and actually ultimately I said why I ended up quitting that, and like a schedule came out and I wasn't even on the schedule for the next week. I'm like, are you serious? It wasn't enough for me to get the 2 or 3 days that I was getting, and now you're gonna give me less time. I think that's just because one of the supervisors didn't like me all that much, even though I had never actually talked to her for any extended period of time. Anyway, but for me, it was most of the people. Like, there was another guy who had played college football, and for me, like, that mattered, because at that time I was going to school to try out for football, once I got on campus. So, I don't know. For me, like, it was 50-50. Because honestly, for me, pay, as I assume it should be for most people, pay is a big part of working a job. If I can only make 18, 19, basically around $20 a week, and I get paid weekly, that's not enough. Like, I mean, like, I can buy, like, I can't do nothing with that. I mean, I guess I could buy a couple of bags of candy, but I like to get a little bit more than that. So, I don't know. Hopefully, honestly, like, they just need to raise up their hourly pay, because that's not enough. Anyway, y'all, that's a little bit from my time when I worked at Kroger. So, I mean, if anybody works there now, or like their affiliate stores and all that stuff, hopefully it's better. Comment down below, talk about how it is or was for you working there. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.